change.
Good morning, sir.
Please take your seat, Priyansha.
Thank you, sir.
You have done BTech
Yes, sir.
in computer science engineering,
Yes, sir.
and then now you want to come into the civil services.
Yes, sir.
Why? Why so, Priyansha?
Sir, I think civil services will provide me a very big platform to work, to calibrate on my existing skills, and it is a very diverse domain, so that I can brush up on my existing skills and develop new new skills that I think I don't even possess. So I think it will be a very good learning experience, as well as it will help me to use my small skill set and knowledge domain in a much wider arena.
Do you think that the civil services is a platform only to teach you? It is, you have already been taught, we want to get some benefit from you in the job.
Sir, definitely, I think that it is a service, and I'm there to work in it and give my own potential to the services. But I think whenever we perform a job or a task, there is a learning experience along with it, which comes naturally to it.
What are you doing after 2018? You passed out in 2018, BTech.
Yes, sir.
What were you doing after that?
Sir, I've been preparing for civil services only.
All the time,
Yes, sir.
2018 onwards.
Yes, sir.
And this is your third, fourth chance?
So, fourth attempt.
Fourth attempt. And you have appeared in the interview earlier also?
No, sir. This is my first interview.
First time. And which is your optional?
So, public administration.
Public administration.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, you must have heard about in the Chief Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between these two?
Sir, Cabinet Secretary is the highest ranking civil servant in the country at the union level, while the Chief Secretary is the highest ranking civil servant at the state level.
At the state level?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between the powers of these two? Can Cabinet Secretary, how is he behaves vis-a-vis secretaries, and how is the Chief Secretary vis-a-vis behaves the secretaries in the state?
Sir, the Cabinet Secretary provides assistance to the central, to the PM, but along with the PMO. So there is a division of power at the central level, while at the Chief Secretary level, generally the power is more concentrated in the hands of Chief Secretary. And
Is it? They say the CMO is more powerful. Chief Minister's office has become more powerful than the Chief Secretary at the state level also.
Sir, in the recent times, there are instances where we have seen the CMO being more powerful, but the Chief Secretary vis-a-vis the state holds a great degree of influence over the civil servant because of the tenure system and the tenure system that it caters to the release of civil servants to deputation overall.
I have not understood this tenure system. What is this tenure system you are talking of?
So, tenure system is a system where the civil servants at the state level are released for central deputation, where they serve in the secretariat at various positions, so that their expertise at the field level are utilized in policy making. Then after some time, they are sent back to the state on the field services.
Okay. How was the initial recruitment you have opted for IFS after the independence? How was IFS got formed? Indian Foreign Service was formed. Who were the initial recruits to the Indian Foreign Service?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
You don't know.
No, sir.
How is Indian foreign policy formed? What are the three pillars of Indian foreign policy?
Sir, I think the three pillars of Indian foreign policy will be sovereignty over our territory, national interest of our people, and balancing our hard and soft power.
Now explain in the context of these three parameters. Explain our stand in Russia-Ukraine war.
Sir, our stand in Russia-Ukraine war stems out from national interest overall. So we are balancing our domestic needs for procurement of oil while not promoting the war, where we did not vote in the UNSC, but that also did not mean that we are promoting war. Secondly, we are constantly engaging with uh, our defense imports from Russia overall have come down in the recent years, but our dependence is still there. So we have not cut our ties with Russia, and we are neither sitting on the fence in the war.
We are not sitting on fence, or we are sitting on fence? What are you
No,
trying
sir, we are not sitting on the fence, as the External Affairs Minister has said. India is not sitting on fence.
What is it doing? It is with one bloc or the other bloc?
Sir, we are supporting our national interest over European interest. And we are not...
Therefore, we are supporting Russia.
No, sir, we are not supporting Russia. We are not aligning with the West when it wants us to sanction Russia.
Okay, just another last question from my side.
Yes, sir.
Three problems which the India faces. Three major challenges which the India is facing today.
Sir, I think the first challenge that India faces is our border disputes with China.
That's the major challenge India faces.
On the external front.
Okay. I didn't talk of external, internal.
Yes,
I said
sir.
the three major challenges India faces.
Yes, sir. It's a major challenge that India faces. Second challenge is rising demographic dividend, which can turn into a problem if it's not catered properly.
Okay.
The third challenge in the coming years, which I think can be an issue, is lack of manufacturing capacity, which can pull back in us on the economic aspect in the global arena.
A lot of countries have gone without manufacturing to the services sector. It will not be good directly now to go to the services sector. Why to get into manufacturing? Where is the need? There are a lot of countries which do not have any manufacturing base at all. Everything is services sector.
Sir, I think in the case of India, because we have a massive young population which cannot be completely skilled in the service sector, in the high-end sector, we need a good manufacturing base so that there can be a shift from agriculture to manufacturing, and the income boost is there along with the productivity, which will further enhance our economic strength in the coming years.
Yes, Priyansha, you are from Agra.
Yes, sir.
If I ask you that naturally when Agra comes Taj Mahal, is it fair to use public money in private memory? Whenever I visit Agra, I wonder that why should it be? What is your view? Could you get my question?
Sir, if you could repeat once more.
Okay. I would say that I wonder that how could public money be used in private memory? It is complete misuse of public money. What is your take on it?
Sir, the Taj Mahal was first, when built by Shah Jahan, was a private monument and a private memory. But over the years, it has gained significant public weightage where it's a UNESCO heritage site.
Yeah, that is gradual process. But I would say that should head of any state or any area use public money, people money in his private memory? Today, if Prime Minister makes something for his private memory, maybe after 20, 25 years it would be a public place. But at present, it is objectionable that why should he be using public money in private memory?
Sir, I think that monuments and heritage buildings, when they are constructed,
Initially, it was not heritage, what I am saying.
uh,
It was not heritage. That's why I have serious objection. Whenever I visit there, I say it should not be. But I would like to help you out. It was monarchy,
okay,
where
sir.
monarch has the right over the public money.
Okay, sir.
Fine. So another, you studied public administration. Which thinker you liked most?
Sir, I think I liked Riggs theory.
Riggs theory.
Yes, sir. Frederick.
So Riggs has projected comparative administration.
Yes, sir.
He has projected bureaucracy in terms of prismatic Sala model.
Yes, sir.
How is it relevant to India? If I want to explain Indian bureaucracy, how can this model be able to explain Indian bureaucracy? Just 2-3 points I want.
Sir, so Riggs' prismatic Sala model projected that a prismatic society does not have.
Why did he name Sala model? What is Sala?
Sir, Sala comes from the term salacracy, which is not bureaucracy, which works on merit, but it has. Sir, I'm not able to.
Please don't make blind guess. It is Spanish word. In Spain, government offices are referred as Sala.
Okay, sir.
So that's why it was transition. In transition, so it was prismatic Sala model. So will you give me one point that shows the relevance of prismatic Sala model in Indian bureaucracy? One point just.
Sir, he gave the concept of heterogeneity, formalism, and overlapping as a feature of prismatic society.
Take me as a layman. Just make me understand in one point that yes, it is relevant.
So, sir, if we talk about the overlapping concept, that means there are different institutions overlapping to perform the same function. So, we have state, local legislature, and some public development bodies performing a similar function, which leads to
Priyansha,
chaos.
you will leave it. Just last question I would like to ask
Yes,
you.
sir.
Leave Riggs. The most relevant thinker, in my understanding, would be Herbert Simon, administrative behavior.
Yes,
Now you are joining administration. Give me one point that Herbert Simon explained about administrative behavior. He has worked on quality of administrative behavior. How to improve administrative behavior according to Herbert Simon? Tell me 1 or 2 points. How to improve administrative behavior according to Simon, not according to you.
Sir, Simon talked about the administrative man in comparison to the rational or economic man. So he wanted
Social or economic man? You are confused. Social and economic man, in between is administrative man.
administrative man.
You make me understand in one line.
Yes, sir.
How is it giving explanation to Indian administrative man?
Sir, Indian administrative man should not focus on complete rationality, but that will make him a rational man. But
No need to suggest that. In administration, we are not going for complete rationality. Rather, we are very irrational. No need to consider Herbert Simon. Already we are very irrational. We hardly go by rationality. When you join administration, you will find that rationality is very much sidelined. We go more and more, we are irrational. Anyway, leave it, please. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Priyansha, I will talk to you about 3 constitutional posts. One is the President, then Governor, and the Chief Justice.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, after the completion of their tenure, whether they can hold another constitutional post? If yes, which one?
Sir, the president can be reappointed as the president.
Okay.
A governor can.
Can President take any other post? other than president?
Sir, not to my understanding. Sir, as far as I remember, he cannot.
What part of the constitution debars him from being a governor of the state?
Sir, I cannot recollect.
Okay. Chief Justice and the governors?
Sir, the governor can become the vice president of India, the president of India, and the chief justice
Can he become maybe a chief minister or a minister somewhere?
Sir, I think he can become a chief minister or
Can you have any examples in
Can
your
he
mind?
become also a minister also? Minister in state? Or a deputy minister in state?
Sir, I think he can. I'm not able to recollect the example, but
Okay. What about
Maybe.
Chief Justice?
so the chief justice can not hold a constitutional post after his retirement, but he is entitled to post-retirement. There is no ban on post-retirement jobs.
Like?
Uh,
Start practicing in the Supreme Court?
no, sir. I mean, for example, he can be appointed as the governor or as a member of the Rajya Sabha by the
You
president.
love trekking.
Yes, sir.
Which are the areas you have trekked?
Sir, I've done 2 treks, which include 𝐏𝐫𝐢𝐲𝐚 trek in Uttarakhand.
Now, when you are trekking,
Yes, sir.
what are the things you observe? Just give me bullet point answers.
Sir, so the nature is the first thing that we see, the nature
Nature
and the
is a very
weather.
vast thing. Nature means something, some object. Tell me, what are the objects you watch?
Sir, there were mountains in Uttarakhand. Then the Tongs River was flowing, and there was snowfall at the time I trekked.
Okay, what else?
Apart from that, there was bugyals
Okay,
during
what
the
is a
trek.
bugyal?
A bugyal is an alpine grassland.
And how it is different from shola?
Sir, sholas are grasslands in the Nilgiris, and they are much drier in comparison.
Have you heard about Mr. Henry Kissinger?
Can you please repeat? sir?
Henry Kissinger.
No, sir, I'm sorry, I have not heard.
Now, whosoever he was, he gave a line, and I read it, quote unquote, that to be an enemy of USA can be dangerous, but a friend is a fatal. How do you explain this?
Sir, to be enemy of
USA is a dangerous thing, but to be a friend is fatal.
sir, because I think I can explain this from the fact that US tried to block our attempts to build an indigenous nuclear reactor, and
We were not friends at that time.
so sir, we were enemies, so it was fatal for
Okay.
us. And to be a friend of the US, I think the sanctions that US, today we are friends with US, but US tried to sanction the S-400 that we were trying to buy from Russia and Iranian oil. So even despite being a friend, we don't gain much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Priyansha, India's critical infrastructure, you understand, right,
Yes, sir.
is under cyber security attack, cyber attack. How do we ensure our critical infrastructure is secure?
Sir, in the latest example where this attack happened was in the Ames Institute, where ransom attack happened on the servers. So I think to ensure that no such future attacks happen, we need to keep on upgrading our capacity to protect, because in technology there is always new methods to innovate and attack the existing capacity. So firstly, it's very important that continuous enhancement is there. Secondly, I think institutional capacity needs to be reboosted so that as soon as a vulnerability is inspected or there is an attack, we are prepared to counter it.
How do we counter in the Indian IT Act, Information Technology Act, what are the provisions for countering our this cyber security attack? Any idea? What is deepfake? What do you know about deepfake?
So, deepfake is a technology that can help us create voice or audio or video messages or clips which are fake in nature.
Okay,
Yes.
let us think of President Putin's deepfake is made. He talks something which he never talked. And how USA, he is talking against USA about President Biden. What are the risks involved? How do we say it is not fake, it is a fake, it is not genuine? How do we say?
So the risk involved are massive with the deepfake technology because of misinformation it can create. So if a deepfake of President Putin is circulated, I think the best way is the Russians themselves issuing a statement that it is not a original statement and it's a technology based statement. So that will de-escalate the situation totally.
With artificial intelligence as a tool, can we find out deepfake as fake? What are the ways and means by which we can say fake is fake, genuine is genuine? Is there any way to?
Sir, I don't know of a way at present that exists, but I think that AI has the capacity to help us on this front, and this can be done with the help of database accumulation and checking a deepfake that emerges on the social media using a application or a website. And if the data of previous statements are there, then I think AI has a capacity to check on that existing knowledge that if a statement is totally radical or possible.
Can
Latest news. There was a committee constituted by Government of India on fake news.
Yes.
But Editors Guild of India is opposing it. Why are they opposing it?
Sir, the committee wanted to check the central government data and cite if it's fake.
I am saying why the Editor Guild is opposing it.
So they are opposing it because they fear that it will lead to censorship by the government. And
Why?
so because if the government becomes the sole authority to check on the news and give it as fake, and then the social intermediary has to take it down, then there is a threat of censorship and it may infringe on the right to freedom and speech.
Can machine learning help us to find out it is a fake and it is not genuine?
Sir, with my limited knowledge, I think a machine learning can help, but with such high-level deepfakes, if that emerges, and because the technology of deepfake is also very advanced, I think people still might not believe that.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
How do you identify a worm from a virus, computer worm from a virus?
Chalo, congratulations. I think you got 100% marks in mathematics in your class 10. You know, recently NCERT, in line with the new education policy, has released its national curriculum framework, in which drastically criticized the way arithmetic and mathematics is taught in schools. And they say it's more robotic. And so what are the changes that you think should be brought in the way subject is taught in schools?
Ma'am, I think the mathematics that we were taught in school was based on textual understanding and knowledge. and there was very limited insight given into how it can help us in the future. In my own case, I think I never understood how algebra is going to help me in the future. But I think if that is something we can ignite a curiosity in young minds, that trigonometry is something that will help us in engineering or construction of buildings and understanding their nuances, that is something which can move more children towards mathematics and make it interesting.
Because I also remember I had a fear of mathematics in school. So it should be more play-based. It's a good initiative. Did you read yesterday's newspaper?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There were, two news items which gave a reflection of the two sides of women empowerment. On one side was our Supreme Commander, the President. She took a flight in the fighter aircraft.
Yes, ma'am.
On the other hand, there was a big news item where in 𝐼𝐸, a neighbor just entered somebody's house, raped her and burnt her alive. She died. So how do you visualize the status of women empowerment? What all should be done that, we are able to respect women and we are able to give them the due rights? What is required?
Ma'am, I think women empowerment is a very complex issue, so the solution has to be very diverse and multi-pronged. So on the social level, I think we need to talk more about how patriarchy is hampering us. Women leaders should be promoted so they become ideals, and educating the male counterparts is very, very important. On policy level, I think reservation in the parliament for women leaders, women representatives can help us make specific policies that cater to our own very needs. Secondly, I think education and nutrition needs of women and economic empowerment is something I believe will help them voice their own concerns and be empowered and not dependent on their male counterparts.
Tell me, suppose you are DM of a district, okay, and you get a news that a woman has been raped, a situation like 𝐼𝐸. You would rush there. What are the immediate steps that you would take?
So ma'am, the first step will be.
You're gender neutral, you can call anything.
So
You can't call a madam, but women have the advantage, don't worry.
So, ma'am, the first step would be to take the victim to the hospital so that medical assistance is given. Secondly, will be to take statements of various people present so that it can help in the further investigation, filing an FIR. Then, I think keeping the scene of the crime free from any biases, and fourthly is doing whatever is to be done under the law from my own part so that the case is in the court of justice and the victim gets the justice.
Okay. You practice Vinyasa Yoga.
Yes.
How do you think it helps you in... Firstly, tell me the difference between Vinyasa Yoga and yoga per se as we use it in normal...
So, ma'am, yoga generally we think of a few asanas and pranayam, and that is a common yoga practice. But Vinyasa focuses more on flow and breath along with movement with the asanas. So, the focus on pranayam is reduced and the breath is incorporated in the asanas itself.
So, how has its regular practice helped you in your daily life?
So, ma'am, I think the greatest benefit from Vinyasa Yoga is that I get my physical exercise, but also it helps to calm my mind because of the breath regulation. So, that 1 hour or 50 minutes of practice frees me from the noise around and helps me to build resilience for the day.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay, Priyansha, your interview is over.